What if I told you that a simple triangle, a circle, or even a spiral could change the way you feel, without you even knowing why? Shapes and colors don't just sit quietly in the background. They reach into your subconscious, stirring emotions you can't explain. They can make you feel uneasy, inspired, or strangely connected to something greater than yourself. These aren't just patterns, they're hidden codes, powerful keys that shape your mind, your emotions, maybe even your destiny. Today, we'll uncover the secret power of everyday symbols, and once you see it, you'll never look at the world the same way again. Symbols are ancient. Long before written language, humans communicated through images, marks, and signs. A simple symbol could convey a story, a warning, or a sacred truth without a single word being spoken. Think about cave paintings. A line, a dot, or a handprint was never random. Each element carried meaning, encoded in a language that bypassed intellect and spoke directly to the subconscious. And even today, we are still deeply affected by these ancient echoes. Consider the circle. It appears in everything from the sun and the moon to wheels, rings, and halos in art. Circles are often associated with unity, wholeness, and infinity. Why does seeing a circle feel calming, almost complete? Our brains associate round shapes with continuity and protection. There are no sharp edges to threaten us, no abrupt interruptions, just endless flow. And this feeling is universal, crossing cultures and centuries. The circle doesn't need translation, it speaks directly to the psyche. Triangles, on the other hand, can evoke entirely different reactions. Pointing upward, they often symbolize aspiration, power, and ambition. Pointing downward, they can represent grounding, fertility, or even warning. Triangles are inherently dynamic. Their edges and points create tension, energy, and movement. That subtle tension can inspire action or alertness without conscious thought. Every time you encounter a triangular logo, a traffic sign, or even a room layout with sharp angles, your mind subtly responds to these symbolic cues. Colors are symbols too, and perhaps the most immediately powerful ones. Red can ignite passion, aggression, or urgency. Blue can soothe, inspire trust, or evoke melancholy. Black and white are more than just opposites. They represent duality, life and death, light and shadow. Even subtle variations, emerald green, deep crimson, muted gray, carry layered meanings, often so deeply ingrained in our culture that we barely notice them. But they influence your decisions, mood, and even how you perceive other people every single day. Let's talk about another symbol we encounter constantly, the spiral. From galaxies to seashells, the spiral embodies growth, evolution, and the unfolding of life. Psychologists suggest that spirals can subconsciously remind us of the cycles we experience: birth, death, and rebirth. When you see spirals in nature, art, or architecture, your mind perceives more than beauty. It perceives a universal truth about the patterns of existence. Even modern design exploits this principle. Look around at logos, advertising, or websites, and you'll notice spirals and curves used intentionally to guide your attention and evoke emotions. Numbers are symbols as well, more than mere counting tools. In numerology, numbers are seen as carriers of vibration, energy, and destiny. The number 7, for example, appears in cultures worldwide as sacred, mysterious, and transformative. Why do 7 days form a week? Why do we have the 7 wonders of the ancient world? It is not coincidental. Numbers shape how we understand reality, organize our lives, and even interpret luck and fortune. A house number, a birth date, or a simple sequence of digits can subconsciously influence how we feel about people, places, or decisions. Symbols also function as shortcuts for the subconscious mind. They allow us to process complex ideas without effort. Imagine a crown. Even without context, you understand that it represents authority, power, and prestige. A heart symbol instantly conveys love or affection. These symbols carry meaning because our brains are wired to recognize patterns, and meaning is a pattern on a higher level. It's almost like symbols speak a language older than words, a language that bypasses logic and resonates with feeling. But what makes symbols truly powerful is their ability to shape behavior. Have you ever noticed how people react differently to signs or logos without consciously thinking about them? The shape of a button can make you click it more eagerly. A warning triangle can make you pause. Even cultural symbols embedded in clothing, architecture, or media influence how you move through the world, how you interact with others, and how you feel about yourself. Symbols are invisible guides, quietly steering attention, emotions, and decisions. And then there's the personal layer. Beyond universal symbolism, every person develops unique associations with symbols based on memory, experience, and emotion. A photograph, a piece of jewelry, a doodle on a notebook, these become symbols of identity, memory, and desire. They can trigger nostalgia, motivation, or fear, depending on the meaning you have assigned. That is why symbols are not just cultural. They are intensely personal, living within the psychological architecture of your mind. Understanding symbols, then, is more than intellectual curiosity. It is a gateway to self-awareness, emotional insight, and even personal transformation. By noticing the symbols that surround you, the shapes, signs, and colors that dominate your environment, you can gain awareness of how your subconscious mind is influenced. You can recognize patterns in your behavior, hidden fears, and unspoken desires. Symbols are not just passive reflections of reality. They are active agents, silently molding your perception and experience. Now, imagine being able to use this knowledge intentionally. Imagine consciously arranging your surroundings, your thoughts, and even your communication through symbols to shape your reality. Businesses do this all the time. Logos, colors, shapes, and design are carefully chosen to evoke trust, excitement, or desire. But what if you applied the same principle to your inner world? By surrounding yourself with symbols that resonate with your goals, your values, and your deepest intentions, you can create an environment that nurtures growth and clarity. Think about the objects you keep close: a ring, a bracelet, a painting, or even a particular shape in your workspace. These are not just items. They are symbols interacting with your subconscious every day. A simple image of a mountain can inspire resilience. A spiral pattern can remind you of personal growth. Even the placement of furniture can carry symbolic meaning, guiding energy, focus, and mood. Feng shui, sacred geometry, and ritual spaces are all examples of ancient wisdom recognizing the tangible power of symbols in shaping consciousness. Your dreams are filled with symbols as well. Have you ever woken up from a dream where a door, a bird, or a storm left you with a lingering emotion you couldn't explain? Dreams are the subconscious mind's canvas, painting with symbols to communicate truths you may not consciously recognize. By learning to interpret these symbols, you gain insight into unresolved fears, hidden desires, and unacknowledged potential. Symbols are the language of the soul, revealing what words often cannot. And let's not forget social symbols. Clothing, gestures, and cultural icons are powerful conveyors of identity and belonging. The way someone dresses, the tattoos they wear, or the jewelry they choose sends signals to the world and even to themselves. Symbols create invisible contracts between individuals and communities, guiding interaction, perception, and connection. Recognizing these signals can make you more aware of social dynamics, influence, and even manipulation. Symbols also have the extraordinary ability to heal. Ancient and modern psychology both recognize this. Archetypal symbols, like the hero, the mother, or the wise old man, can be used in therapy to access parts of the psyche that are otherwise hidden. Mandalas, geometric patterns, and sacred art can calm the mind, focus attention, and restore emotional balance. Your brain responds to these shapes, lines, and colors in ways that words alone cannot achieve. Symbols tap into the universal psyche, reminding us that we are part of something larger, something timeless. Consider everyday reminders you may overlook. The infinity sign on a bracelet, a cross on a necklace, a lotus on a notebook. Each is more than decoration. Each is a subtle signal reinforcing ideas, beliefs, or aspirations. They prime the subconscious, influencing decisions, emotions, and even creativity. This is why artists, spiritual leaders, and psychologists have long recognized the importance of symbols in human life. They are bridges between the visible world and invisible forces shaping thought and behavior. Now, you might ask, can I consciously harness this power? Absolutely. Begin by noticing what surrounds you. Observe shapes, colors, patterns, and images in your environment. Notice how they make you feel. Are your surroundings calming, energizing, or chaotic? Which symbols resonate with your intentions, your goals, and your authentic self? Slowly, introduce symbols that reinforce what you want to cultivate in life. A small shift in visual input can trigger profound changes in thought patterns, habits, and even emotional resilience. Symbols can also be used as personal rituals. A small stone, a drawing, or a daily sketch can serve as a symbol of your commitment to growth. Over time, your subconscious associates these symbols with discipline, clarity, or courage. This is not magic. This is psychology in action. Symbols are shortcuts for the mind, carrying meaning and emotional weight that words cannot. They are tools to awaken awareness and redirect energy toward what truly matters. It is also crucial to understand that ignoring symbols leaves you at the mercy of the environment and culture around you. From advertisements to architecture, urban design to media imagery, you are constantly being influenced. Symbols guide attention, shape preferences, and even dictate emotional responses. Awareness is the first step to freedom. When you see symbols clearly, when you understand their impact, you reclaim your power to choose how you respond, how you feel, and how you act. So, take a moment today to notice the symbols around you. What shapes dominate your life? Which colors, patterns, or images are shaping your subconscious? How are they influencing your emotions, decisions, and sense of self? Awareness is the key. Understanding the hidden power of symbols allows you to consciously navigate your world with intention, creativity, and clarity. As you reflect on this, I want you to ask yourself, which symbols in your life are empowering you, and which are holding you back? Could changing a simple shape, a color, or an image in your environment shift your mindset and transform your day, your week, even your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what symbols have had the strongest impact on you and how you are using them intentionally. Remember, symbols are not just shapes or patterns. They are tools of transformation, keys to understanding yourself, and gateways to deeper awareness. By noticing, interpreting, and applying the power of symbols, you step into a life guided not just by chance, but by conscious design. Symbols remind us that the world we perceive is layered with meaning, that every shape, color, and pattern carries potential, and that understanding these hidden forces can awaken clarity, creativity, and personal power. If this video helped you see the hidden world around you in a new light, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and continue exploring with us. Your journey into the subtle, powerful influence of symbols is only beginning, and the insights you gain can transform the way you see the world, the way you interact with others, and the way you understand yourself.